few other things at the airport meeting, but I'll talk about that in a while. It won't take very long.
Well, I've got to take off here
Okay.
shortly.
It's not fun, is it?
Then I ran out of the house, didn't take a pain pill this morning, you know. Imagine when I looked down, I said, shoot, I gotta be there for 20 minutes.
Yeah. You want to make sure you stay on top of your pain management on that.
Well, I've lucked out because I'm just on the tramadol. I just, if I take one in the morning and one before I go to sleep, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because to me, if it starts hurting at 2 o'clock, I just walk and don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's not fun. So this one, actually, both my shoulders and I don't sleep very
I'll
good.
make a note to,
That's why I want to get the other one done, because this one does feel better than that
Or
one.
worse.
Well, you fixed up Wayne pretty
Right.
good. He said,
And you don't have time to do
He's
that
gonna
kind
go
of stuff, I'm
before-
sorry.
no, it's my job.
we'll
I
get
can do
there
it.
that week. He won
We'll
enough
take a look
games
at it and
last
see what we
night.
can do.
He was feeling good.
Good.
If he's
Maybe
really
you better charge him more.
You also have to look at how far reaching
Yeah.
this could be.
I know.
He's fun to
This is
talk
what I
to.
said.
Do you want-
No,
Do you
no,
want
I mean,
people from out of county on the hospital
Oh,
board?
yeah, I understand.
yeah.
Steve's on his way in.
Okay.
Just a minute or two.
At the airport commission meeting, they were, had taught, this is that what I sent around, they want to see if they can keep the big building and then rent it out for pilots that come in. And I said, well, our issue is a liability issue, because somebody puts a plane in there, bumps it, it's not a good deal. And I think that if they did that, they were gonna look for liability insurance. But they think it might be a good idea, if we have a hangar for an emergency type deal, to put a plane in, for protection. And they're gonna charge, I think, $40 a night for that, so I wanted to run that by you guys and see what you thought. We were looking at renting it out.
Is that the one we
Yeah.
were looking at right
Yeah.
now?
And that's why they did this motion they did the other night. And I wanted to pass that through to you guys and see what you thought. Also, well, they did have a lot of good ideas. They would also like to put a door camera in, so when you push the code in, we know who's in there, which I think is probably a good idea. The camera in there, I think, is an older camera, and it's hooked to the internet, so that was Clayton's idea, and I think that was a good idea.
Well, them,
Yeah,
okay.
like I said, I told them, we insure the building, but if they want to put planes in there, that's going to be their deal, but that's about it, other than what I've already talked to you about, so.
Did they elect a new president?
Yeah, Clayton, and then Rodney is the treasurer, so.
I don't think really it's a matter of which one draws the most money either, is it? It's just it would be nice to have that, but on the other hand, I don't think they can rent that much, could they?
I don't know. Good morning. Good morning. It's just one of those deals we need to think about, probably. Think about it for 2 weeks and we'll figure it out. So, I mean, because both ways, if we get a monthly rental off of it, that's always good to be able to count on, but, if they need an airplane, somewhere to put an airplane, that's pretty important in a good airport. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, just an
I wonder
FYI.
if the FAA would give us, what I want to say, some credit for if we have a place to put planes in, like on our numbers.
Yeah, that would be, I don't know, because I think it's just stationed, if their airplane is stationed there, which they would, I think that what they were talking about is renting the back part out for an airplane all the time. So there would be an airplane there, so. So that would be like $250 a month or whatever, and then in order to hit that mark, you'd have to rent it out, 7 days to hit the mark that you're talking about.
Could we rent half of it out to, say, someone, and then leave them half, but they can do this same thing?
Well, that's what Goodland does, but like I said, it's just it's a liability issue if we have our hands involved in it, because I said what I thought we would do is, it's your baby because of the liability issue, because no matter how careful somebody is, if you ding an airplane, I mean, gets expensive really fast. So, anyway, just something to think about, so. All right, Steve.
Okay, well, started then.
Yeah.
Latest on expenses. Big one was the oil bill, refill our tanks. I believe that's both Bird City and St. Francis. You want one?
Oh, thank you.
I guess, yep.
How many gallons of diesel will that additive from Schaefer's do?
It'll usually do a load, but there might be a little left over that we can use for the next, but usually we try to get what we'll use it all. So about 7,500 gallons total.
$1,000 or $1,100 for 1,000 gallons, or how many gallons?
Where's it'd be 7,500 gallons
7,000.
is usually a tanker load.
Which one is that?
Schaefer's.
Schaefer's down there. At the bottom right here.
It's a diesel additive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, through
So
there.
how many bridges did Penco? $500?
That was just the one, they've got to do a annual inspection instead of every other year. It's the one we're gonna make a low water crossing. So we're hoping to do that this spring. It'll happen this year. And that's on Road 27, south of Road D. Just south of Bird City, down by the county line. And everything, it hadn't degraded any, I mean, we can keep it open for now, but
Oh,
it
that's the
doesn't.
reason, we just had to do it. Pretty bad
Yeah, it's
bridge.
required, it's in bad shape, required to do that annually on that poor shape of the bridge. So we're gonna turn that to a low water crossing. If there's no questions any more questions on the expenses, I'll move on. I've got a request for a highway permit from Viero, and it's basically down the county line, just, running just west of Highway 27, in our right of way. And I forwarded this on to Sherman County too. They do maintain that road, and they were okay with this, and I think we should, approve it. They're gonna trench in the north ditch.
Okay.
The depth, the detail here, I'll pass that around. They've got the detailed plans right here. They've got the location and then the set of plans and what they intend to do, how they're gonna do it. It'll be a trench and it'll be like I said, in the north right of way, and they're gonna trench it to a minimum of 48 inches in conduit. And they will not be crossing any of our roads. It'll just stay, I don't know I didn't ask if they're putting a tower in or what they're doing down there, and I assume that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Which road is it?
27.
No, it's Road A,
Oh, okay.
just
Right on
west of
right
Highway
on
27, yeah.
Okay.
It's on the side.
And it looks like it runs, I don't even think it runs a half mile, along that road. They've got some plans drawn up too, but, this is,
Sherman County's in charge of the road maintenance?
Right, they maintain that road, but then it would be in Cheyenne County where they're actually putting in the cable.
Isn't there a lot of, like, natural gas wells right there on that county line road?
Could be,
Yeah.
seems like they're
Yeah,
all over.
that's our farm road.
I don't know if I look at any of that or not, but I do recommend that we approve.
Okay.
I don't need to look at it, I don't see why.
Okay.
Do you guys have any issues with it?
No,
I don't either.
We need a
Need a
motion on that?
motion.
Okay.
To approve the highway permit.
who would approve highway permit 2024-2?
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve highway permit 2024-2. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. 48 inches.
Willie or Brett need to sign that? Right, well,
Brett, Roger wasn't in there. Because I
I
made the
didn't,
motion.
are you're right-handed? Is that-
I'm right-handed.
You are right-handed, okay.
Luckily, or unluckily, I don't know.
It's a crap, you have to learn to use your left.
I'll need to sign that too. I just got to give you an update on one of our loaders, 608. It's one of our newer loaders. It's, I think it's 2014, got about 16,000 hours on it.
Okay.
We're having some clutch issues. Been trying to diagnose it just last week. We had good timing. We had one of the techs from Foley out last week doing some other things, and they took a look at it, and it kind of ruled out any kind of bypass or anything. It looks like it's some clutch plates that are slipping.
Does it smell?
So, no, I don't think any guys,
It doesn't smell like
I haven't
that.
heard that.
Okay.
But it's got some issues. It's just, we're looking into options. I'll try and get some prices on like dropping a remand in. Yeah, do you have any idea what that would?
If they, like on my transmission with the ZF, they have to split the machine. You're looking at 30 grand just right there, and that's a John Deere.
Just to split it?
Well, that's a John Deere. Caterpillar's probably 3 times as much.
Oh, boy, yeah. And they did do an assessment on it, what it's worth. They were out, I had them doing assessments on both 101 and 106, which I'm gonna get into here in a minute. And so we're waiting on that. They just actually did that, I think it was either yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Is it a ZF transmission?
Power
Shift where it'll,
yeah, it's up,
it's a German-made transmission. They're good, but yeah.
could be pricey. Yeah, I was hoping to be able to drop a remand in, but yeah, it just depends on what we're looking at. If you're saying 3 times that 30,000, that's probably not an option.
I
We only
don't-
paid 75, or about roughly 75,000.
Well, I gave less from
How long we
the,
had it?
Since 14, I think.
you said it had 18,000 hours?
16.
16, okay.
Actually got brought our hour sheet over, but. Get that
Well, I heard.
out.
My
Nah,
little
don't have,
recorder's
it's, I don't
got
have that one on here
20,000.
yet.
But it's got a reman in it. I made sure of that when I bought it. Then I had to put a new motor in it twice.
We do need to, on to my next topic, I guess. We've got to get an order for grader blades in. We've got guys that are coming out of the winter and ran as much as we could last
Okay.
summer on a number of sets of blades. We've only got 2 spare sets.
Okay.
And I thought if we were gonna put an order in, we could get another 4 sets and we'll be good for the year, or most of the year, more than likely. With that many blades, that'd give us 6 sets on hand. I've requested bids from 3 places, Cat, Sweeney Pavement Management, and Wellborn. Wellborn came in the lowest, and this includes bolts. For replacement of the bolts, they do wear down. And that came to a total of $7,227.51. And that's at $421.31 per, we get them in 4-foot blades, so we've gotta get
The set.
4 per unit to get the 16-foot length we need. That's where the 16 comes from, the amount that we'd need to get. And again, that included bolts. That'd be 80, well, basically about 100 bolts
Okay.
total.
We've bought from Wellborn before, haven't we?
We have. They typically recently have come in lower.
That's what I thought. I remember them being the lowest.
Yeah,
And it's,
And we seem like they work, I mean, we're not wearing out faster than a cat blade or.
no, I mean, there's other, I think we talked about this a while back. There are some other options going with the thicker, but, and they're more expensive. I mean, there's some other things we could play with,
will the
but
thicker one have as much play if you hit a rock? I mean, will it break?
that I don't, I would think they would hold up just as well, if not better.
Okay.
But then the expense is quite a bit more, and we do get, you can get a full season or a year out of most of these blades, if not a little longer.
And you said that was Wellborn?
Wellborn.
Okay.
Correct. Cat couldn't get the ones that we want, so they didn't even put anything out there on the bid, and then Wellborn, or I'm sorry, excuse me, Sweeney Pavement Management came in at $485 per blade, so that was quite a bit higher than Wellborn.
Are they at all rebuildable or no?
No, not anything that we could do. I mean, we do make use of them, we don't just pitch them. We hang on to the better ones for spare in case, you know, especially in the wintertime when you're really beating up the blades and something really goes wrong, we can throw another used one on instead of getting into a
Waiting
new
for
set. So we try to make as much use out of those as we can, really
Okay.
wear them down.
I'm fine with that. Are you guys?
Yeah.
You'll need to move.
It's one of those gotta have them kind of thing.
Do you wanna make
I move we accept the bid from
Wellborn.
Wellborn for,
$7,227.51.
that's it.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to purchase the blades from Wellborn for $7,227.51. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All right.
Okay, and then the last thing I've got, it might take some time, I didn't know, Cody, he's not waiting out there, so maybe we'll
I
get
just
started.
texted him, but I can stop him.
Get started maybe a little bit. Been, been continuing to look into, trading off, units. Well, we have unit 101, it does have the higher hours, it's at probably, I think it's at 13,100 hours right now. And then the other unit was
Have a good
10, pardon?
I was telling her, have a good day, sorry.
And these are both 140Hs. These are, one's a 2006 model, the other's a 2007.
What was the other number, 101?
Yeah, 101, Unit 101,
And then what's the other one you're looking at?
Unit 106.
Okay, sorry.
Those are both the highest of all our graders, highest on hours,
Okay.
age. And I've been focusing mostly on trying to find a used grader, and I'm finding that the prices on the used are far more than what I thought they might be. They're approaching 300,000 for a low hour,
Right.
you know, 3, maybe
A
4-year-old
dependable one,
unit.
yeah.
And as this is an example, we're pursuing this one for a little while on, that's just, it's an all-wheel drive model at 2,700 hours. They listed it at 339,780. And actually, that's a little lower than what they had listed. The trade for, if we were to trade Unit 101, the highest hour machine, they were gonna give 50 on the trade, 5835. Difference came to 288,945. And then the more I thought about it, when you buy new, you get the government discount. So I thought, well, let's just see what, and I hadn't priced any news, and I got prices from John Deere on a comparable unit to a 140. That's a 670G, I think is what they sent a quote in on. They came out and did an assessment on Unit 101. And this would be
For brand
a
new.
lever grader.
Okay.
And it's rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive, is what I had quoted. And so was John Deere's price that they came up with. In the end, there's the difference after you take the,
Yeah, you're only looking
Trade,
at almost
370.
$30,000, it's like a $30,000.
Right,
difference for
and so
brand
that-
new.
that makes a guy think. And then I, of course, was having the same thing with Foley to have them price out a new unit. It's a 140, it's called a 140 13L. And that's again with the lever, it's rear-wheel drive. It's basically, it's a 140H, comparable to the 140Hs. And that came in even better.
Better than John Deere?
Pardon?
Better than John Deere?
Yes. And we tried to keep everything the same, the warranty should be similar. There's some slight differences on the circle between John Deere's and Cat. Horsepower's comparable. And that just kind of summarized and looking at both units, that's, because one, we get a little higher trade with unit 106. So that actually brings that down a little bit. And I guess to sum it up, the more I thought about this, I really think we ought to consider trading both of these high hour graders off. They're 16 years old, 17 years old on one of them. And for that price, I mean, that's cheaper than some of the used ones you're looking at. And you don't have a lot of options when you go with the used, it's just what they have. You're getting units that have several, 2,000 to 3,000 hours and up. The warranty is gonna be maybe half of that at best. So it's,
I was reading and I wasn't paying attention. You
Oh,
said
that's
something
fine.
about warranties.
right, but the warranty between the John Deere and the Cat is similar. They're gonna be 7 years, 6,000 hour. And you can have it priced at any combination you want. If you wanted 7 years, 7,000, you can do that. It goes up. But we put an average of between 800 and 900 hours on each unit per year. So we're just trying to get it so when you hit that 7 year mark, you're at about your maximum hours, which at that rate is gonna put it at about 6,000 hours after 7 years.
Well, if we need them, it's a no-brainer.
Well, I was,
You know what I'm saying?
Very
If
surprised
we
by the
need 'em,
price.
It's a no-brainer.
I-
But, and we probably, if we got 13,000 hours on some of those rigs, that's a lot of hours.
So these Caterpillar, are they 140Hs as well, that you're looking?
they're called a 140 13L, but they're essentially a 140H with
Okay.
the levers, the
Okay,
steering.
gotcha. I just
We have
wanted-
several people that still run. We've got Kelly in 101, and then Rob just moved into a territory, and he's running a lever grader, and that's 106. So those two graders is what at some point soon, we're gonna be doing something with them, either repairing them, the rebuild option, but I was told by Mark Polifka, and this was probably a year and a half ago or over a year ago, that price we had on the last one, that's now gonna be in the 220 to 230 range. So then you're only 30,000 or 40,000 off from a new unit. And that rebuild did not include anything with the hydraulics. That option added quite a bit to that rebuild price.
When we did that refurbishing, it wasn't 190,000 per unit.
It was 189
So
and some change.
basically, for two new units, you're only gonna spend like $157,000 difference. And you're gonna get the warranty with a new one versus if you had two of them refurbished. And that is if that price didn't go up. I'm just trying to look at it from all angles, so.
Right.
Anyway.
The problem with the refurbishing, we might not have that unit
Yeah.
till way next.
Yeah. And
How long
that's
did it take to get them refurbished? That was a big deal.
It took,
Like 6 months.
oh, yeah, all of 6 months.
All of 6.
Because they had some issues and they were still working on that thing, I think, clear into the spring and early, well, it was spring, I think.
The issue is we
following
got
year.
it back.
Pardon?
After we got it
Yeah,
back.
after we got it back, it had to go back. And they got us the loaner grader, I think, by December or something, so we did have but there was several months there where we were down a unit, so.
So this is coming out of capital outlay or machinery
Well,
equipment?
it would come out of special equipment fund. I had that tallied up. I only have one copy, I apologize. In our special machinery fund, we've got $153,533. If you went with 2 units, that would take that total on there, on that quote, down to $384,204 remaining, and that remaining would come out of the special road fund. We've done that with the last grader, in fact. We took $215,000 out of the special road fund, and that fund is at it's at $1,549,000 right now.
How is that gonna put us later in the year if we were to do this? That would be my one question.
I'm just wondering if you should take all of it out of that special road.
I didn't know if we needed to use up the special machinery fund first to do that. Or if we could, if that's, yeah, I would prefer to maybe at least set
So
some
if we have a
aside.
major repair, can it come out of either one of those?
I
Like if
I don't think repairs could. I think that would come out of,
So that's why I'm wondering if, I don't think he'd want to deplete that.
The special machine fund, you're
Special
saying?
machine fund. Or take it down, you know. I don't
maybe
think
take
he'd deplete it.
half of the special machine fund and then the remaining out of road, special road
I mean, we got
improvement
this,
fund.
it sounds like we're gonna have a big deal on this loader.
It could be.
It's still going, it's still running, it's just, yeah, it's gonna need to be addressed.
But see, that quote was a long time ago, and it was, if I take it there and they do all the work. If we've got a mechanic, it may be not as bad.
We don't have the room to
Oh, okay, does he?
literally,
And it may be different, they may not have to pull it apart. So that's a big deal when you pull those loaders apart.
I can imagine.
yeah, and I'm not sure what. they need to
Just
do.
hoping mine never does that, because I will do it myself.
Yeah, ideally, that'd be, but the way it sounded from
Right.
initially what I've heard, the feedback is that it would probably have to go
It may be
fully.
dangerous too, who knows, you know what I'm saying, if you don't have the right
But,
tools.
right, and we question that, whether our hoist would
Well,
hold it.
what do you guys think? That's,
Well, years ago, when, I'm talking way back, we bought a lot of new graders because it was cheaper to go with those government discounts.
Right.
Than it was trying to buy used graders. That's been a long time ago. And
I'm-
it's still that way.
I'm very
It's
shocked
just-
on the price.
I am
so,
too,
you
but
know.
it's the demand on the used ones
On the
is high,
used ones,
so
so
they're able to
demand, so
get
they give
those.
you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they
But
they get a lot.
I know those graders, they're $100 units to run. And if we keep them upgraded, I know there was years back, last time I was a commissioner, our graders were really down and it cost a lot to get them back up to
Oh,
where they
yeah.
are now.
Once they get
I hate to
down,
ever get back to that point again.
yeah.
You mentioned that one of them we were looking at was an all-wheel drive. Do you need all-wheel drives?
There's applications for it, but a large percentage of what we do, no. That's why I would say that we don't ever get another, maybe end up years down the road, have a third one on hand. Right now, we have 2.
Each one has.
So if we have a certain project and we need an all-wheel, we've got one.
Right, we've got two
We
of
can
them.
bring, we
Yep,
can bring them out of one territory and put
I
them in
didn't
another.
count.
one.
Exactly.
How many all-wheel drives do we have?
How many what?
All-wheel drives?
Two of them. Those are the two new ones we got in 2021 and 2022, I think, when the model years on
And
it.
then these guys are not having a problem running these lever action.
But, right, we've got two of our operators that are running the H's right now, and they're both, they prefer the lever. And then PJ, I think he's preferred the levers, and so there's several, I mean, it's a mix. I mean, there's some guys that, you know, don't wanna go back to levers. They like the stick. Great. So we've got a mix of operators as far as what they prefer to use. So it's, this way we're keeping, you know, we'll still have several, because the 140Ks are lever, and then we've got 3 of the H's with, you know, the one we rebuilt. So we'd have 5 units with,
Right.
we'd be 50/50 on.
Well, what do you guys think?
I think if we can afford it, I think we'd be better off with the new ones.
It looks like it,
I was,
no matter how you punch the numbers.
You know, because like you say, that with the government kicking
Just the
in.
warranty end of it,
Yeah.
7 years.
We'll need a motion.
Yeah,
pardon,
I'd depart out of special
maybe do half of
machinery.
special machinery fund and then the
Cause you've got
remainder.
that bridge coming up.
And these, you want me to get the numbers might change a little, I mean, he's got this is the quote and it's good, but just in case that there're just slight differences on, 'cause for instance, on 106, the trade on that's a little, that might change a little bit. 101, that changed a little bit, I mean, in our favor, is what I'm saying, so I don't know how critical the exact dollar figure is on.
Why don't you get your figures together for next meeting, and would that work or not?
Yeah, and then he can have the
And
stuff to sign, 'cause I think we'd have to,
maybe have them come
a
in.
purchase agreement and all that.
Is
and then-
that, do they need
Yeah.
to come in and,
He sure could, unless he's got some prior engagements, I would
That'd be
think Doug would
that
be
would
able to
that be
come in.
good?
Yep, that'd be fine with me.
Okay. All right,
Did you have anything else, Steve?
I think that's it.
I'm telling you,
That's
they-
enough.
Those big purchases like that just does make me cringe,
Yeah. Come here.
so.
Do you want these?
You guys can hang on to those, by all means, yeah, in fact, did you get both, all that? Okay. Not for you guys to keep those.
I'm gonna run downstairs. Okay, thank you, have a good
Thank you,
weekend.
have a good weekend. Right back.
Yeah, like you say, you don't want to get to where they're jungle.
When I come on, that last time, that'd have been in like the 80s, early 90s. Our equipment was so down. Our graders, they were junk. And we started trading in for brand new ones because of the government discounts. And they were giving us, like I said, more. It was cheaper to buy a new one than it was to find a used one. And it's still that way.
You would not think that would be possible, huh?
With the private sector, they're needing used equipment for the private sector, that government discount is amazing.
It, surprised me. How's that going for you, Willie? I've known several people that just recently had a letdown.
Yeah,
It
it's-
does not look like fun.
It's
Yeah.
not fun, it's, I don't really realize how much you use your arm.
That's, yep, makes life a little difficult.
Yeah, it makes it real difficult. fun with not having a spouse to help you get dressed.
Right, that's a lot of things you don't think about that, as hard as you want to handle it.
It's a good thing I have sisters who'll come over and help me do all this stuff.
I guess we're gonna
Yes,
discuss
we
that
put
later.
that on.
Yeah.
Still on camera, Steve had a little more.
Oh, sorry.
First week is
Didn't write it down, so I didn't
the
think of
damn
it.
thing
I
back.
would like to request executive session for personnel.
How long you think?
Maybe 10 minutes?
Okay.
Funny.
Motion for 10 minutes of executive session for non-elected personnel.
10, okay?
I think, well, we can go 5, because I don't know if Cody's way out there.
We can go
No,
back in. He's just setting up.
10 minutes then.
Okay. You wanna tell him we're gonna be 10 more minutes, just in case he got something? If you need more, we can do it.
Oh, I think it'll be enough.
I think I slept 2 hours last night. It's,
Same here.
what's that? Same there? I'm
3 a.m.
sorry. I just,
Wide awake.
can't get comfortable in both your shoulders hurt.